Hi everyone. We are going to dive into the Cinco de Mayo scene in the film Holidate. The reason I wanted to highlight this movie and this scene, it's got two things. The first one is the reason I got the job as the cinematographer was because of this idea. The second one is a very cool in-camera technique that I use the power of the Red Gemini's HDR function to really deliver the impact. Let me kind of talk about how I got the job. My agent, when I asked her, I was up for a job, a movie, and I didn't get it. And I asked her, why did that other cinematographer get the job instead of me? And she said, what that director of photography did was he didn't only talk about how it was going to look and feel and the emotions and all that stuff. He really dug deep into the story and actually found some things in the script that he manipulated and changed, and the director really loved that because they saw that he was very invested. It just wasn't about the look of the movie and the photography, but he was invested in the script and making it better. Ever since I heard that, I go into every interview with tons of script change ideas. It shows that you're not just a technician, you're an artist, and you're invested in the whole movie and making it the best that it can be. What was written on the page of Cinco de Mayo was a restaurant. And I was like, my God, we've done so many restaurants in this holiday. What if we get like 8 taco trucks and put it in a parking lot and we create a carousel of lights that chase and change colors? And it's just this incredible, colorful environment with mariachi bands, and there's this circular bar in the center. And the whole idea behind this is, again, colorful, that fold over color that I kind of have talked about in the past. This is what every holiday wanted to be extraordinary and like a big event. So through all this, I lit it with all these different LED park cans, and you had all the asteras overhead, but this was not anything that was scripted. This was kind of my idea that I, pitched in my interview, and it landed me the job because I sold this vision. So now they're gonna drink, and now we whip pan. And on the whip pan, we're just gonna go into one next drink after another, after another, after another. And what I'm trying to do is, you can see as the camera is slowly starting to wind up like a top. So it's starting to encircle them. As we get more into the scene, we're hearing more about their issues and problems and bad dating and all this stuff. Now we whip again, and on the whip, we go into this in-camera effect that I wanted to kind of talk to you about. Art and science, a wonderful balance. Sometimes the science takes over, sometimes the art is a little higher. In this, I leveraged the science of the camera to create a unique artistic experience. Now, HDR, its function is high dynamic range. So if you had a window and it was blown out, you could do 2 exposures. So it would hold the window outside and also do a good exposure inside. That's the concept of all. And it works very well when it's kind of a lock-off frame. But anytime the camera moves is when it goes squirrely. This way, we wanted whatever happened, I wanted all the artifacting and everything because I wanted to see what it felt like if you had slammed all this tequila and what the experience was. What I did is I took the A-track and made it at a 360-degree shutter. And we shot this at 6 frames per second. And then I took the X track and made it an 11-degree shutter. So there was 5 stops of difference. So what you see in this, see how the Asteras are sharp and smeary all at the same time. That's because we've taken the A track and the X track and we've layered them over the top of each other. And what you get is, because we are using an 11-degree shutter, the Astera is super sharp and clear and perfectly exposed with all the exact color that's in that tube. The other one is a smear, because that's the 360-degree shutter at 6 frames per second. And because it's moving, and we put them on a dolly, so we took the Fisher 10 dolly and we literally spun it around in circles with them on it. And they just had the greatest time. They're drinking, they're, look at this. It's, she does the whole bottle here. It's just, and then that morphs into the day after, which was a shot of this fan with one of the Cinco de Mayo dolls that they had got from the evening hanging on the fan as it spins around, and that literally was the morning after. And this was the last thing we did at the end of the night. We had done all the scene, and it was an amazing way to go out for that night, because we had so many fun, shots that we had done prior to this, and it was just kind of a celebration of this whole kind of spin sequence that ends in the morning after. And that is your in-camera HDR, and knowing what to do on an interview is to dig into the scene, dig into the script, try to find holes in it, try to make it better, and give those cool ideas in your interview, and you're gonna get the gig.